Alright guys, let me know if there is any sound coming off of this stream there right now, because I don't know what just happened. C Tango said no sound, so I'm not sure. Is it a no game song or no com song? I'm gonna have to just figure that out in just a bit as we continue on through the racing, guys. I don't know if you guys can hear me as yet, but hopefully you can. Okay, we're all good. We're all good. Ethan says we're all good, so we're all good to go. All right, so under the safety car still here, guys. Safety car did save us a bit just for that, just getting that back working again. I think I know what happened, guys. It happened before on one of our streams. If you guys can remember, we did almost an entire race without any commentary. What I was doing commentary, you guys couldn't hear me because I accidentally, I think there was a glitch on that lobby as well, and I accidentally hit one of the buttons on my headset, and I have no idea what the button does on to this day. Honestly, to be honest with you, I have no idea what that button does. It just says mode, and I have no idea what it does. But I accidentally hit that button, and I didn't take it for anything, and apparently that's what turned everything off. I think it's probably the same thing that happened again. But yeah, as long as we're good, we're gonna be getting through sorted with that issue, getting a mic very shortly. Within the next week time or so, we should be able to get that. Week to week and a half, depends on delivery here right now. But we'll get that sorted then. We should avoid that issue and hopefully have a much better quality with the audio for commentary by the time we get that new mic set up. So hoping to get that sorted through very shortly, because I'm trying to avoid this issue by touching, because they put the volume controls right next to that weird button that you're not supposed to press. So I think that's why that happened. So far we're good here right now. Let's get on back with our regular commentary here. Alright, so Walker still continues to lead this into lap 3. We're going right now under the safety car still, and Clarkey running in second still. And let's see what are the position changes. Yeah, Mr. Razor is still right there, and the rest of the grid have gotten just a bit mixed up, and we see a few drivers all the way down at the bottom of the grid there right now. But yeah, getting that through sorted. So at least everyone still is in the session right now. I think that's a good point here right now, and we're gonna keep on going. So hopefully, let's see, maybe at the end of this lap here, we might get to go back to racing. Let's see if that's gonna happen. We'll have that notification from race control, and we'll know what's happening. I can't believe you guys missed the commentary for the start of that race, and that was actually quite an interesting start actually. So anyway, either way, it does happen that way, but at least I got a message from Tango there, and he let me know what was going on. So at least I had an idea. I just restarted the headset. That's all I did. I just turned it off and turned it back on, and it was fine again. That was easy the last time as well. All I had to do was just turn it off and turn it back on. I would have been fine, but I didn't even know that I was not supposed to press that button, because I probably have to check the box to see what exactly that button does. But hopefully I don't have to continue using this. Maybe just for a week more I'll be using this headset. It's a pretty good headset, but I just need something better for the commentary end of it. And yeah, I'll still be using it, but I just need I need the mic for the commentary just to get a better quality of audio out to you guys. So that'll be a lot more fun as well. So we'll see how that works out though, as we get that coming up. In about a week and a half time we should get that. So I'll look forward to that. Hopefully you guys will find it much better then as well. Anyway guys, let's see, are we going back to racing? Because I think that safety car is back in already. So let's have a look out front and see what's happening here right now. So Walker, it looks like he's going to get a pretty good start on that restart going back there, but he has Clarky chasing him down, not too far off behind, just about half a second, and he's going to continue on through right now. Ethan there getting, he's chasing now Mr. Rage for third place right now, has a bit of a gap to the car behind, as well as following on with our race leaders at the moment to see what's happening with these two. We got J. Kelly about to go past Maddie here. He's trying to go past actually, but the gap is, he's still pretty close, but as we know guys, it's very, very hard to get an overtake done here on Monaco. So let's go back on the overtake cam with Clarky and Walker out front and see how that's going. Mr. Ray trying to catch up as much as he can, 1.2 second behind there right now. And why am I seeing comments coming in but I'm not seeing comments here? I have to do just refresh that or something. That's kind of weird. Anyway, let's continue on through here right now. Still following on with Clarky, chasing down Walker for the lead of the race. Of course, that overtake is going to be a very, very hard one to get done here right now. I think he's going to be able to get that done pretty quickly, but We're going to switch on over to tires as well, see what everyone is going to be doing when they do their stuff. We have quite a few pit-ups happening during the safety car there, as we can see, and that did happen. So let's keep it on tires as we're going to continue on through the rest of the race right now. Gap is still under a second between these two, and they're still going to fight it on through. Rest of the grid is still pretty close off to each other, and we're trying to see how that's working out for them there right now. Now that is just the weirdest thing. It keeps saying comments coming in, but I'm not seeing any comments. I've seen something like this happen before, but I'm not even sure what's happening. Everything is going a bit crazy here today for some reason. Yeah, there are no comments coming in. I don't know why it's saying that, but that's just kind of weird. We're just going to ignore that at least for now. So looks like Scooby is out of the race. That's probably going to be VSC. Yep, it is a VSC for that. So we're having a bit of glitch on my end here right now as well, as far as I can tell, because I'm not able to see it's a VSC over on the screen. It's just showing on the map, and I got to look at the same signs that the drivers will be looking at there, so I can know that it's a VSC happening on track there right now. So that's because Scooby is out of the session. So 16 drivers still remain in this session here right now, and we're trying to follow on. That VSC is actually over there right now, so we're following on with our race leaders, Walker and Clark here right now. The two of them are going to go back to racing here once again and continue on through. And let's see what the gap is right now. Still very close between these two, but is Clarky going to be able to get a move done on Walker? I'm not sure as yet, and they're going to continue chasing each other around for quite a bit on this race, and we're going to see how that progresses through. On lap 6 of 39 here right now as we continue on through with this race. And so far so good. I see a bit of a gap is starting to build between most of our drivers on the grid here right now, but it's about a second or two between most of them. But Clarky trying to keep himself in the DRS range of Walker's car there right now, and hoping that that does help him out in some way to get by and get up into the lead of the race if he can. I see Beefy down at the back there in 10th. He's getting very close to Black Cherry there in 9th. Trying to keep his gap under a second as much as he can. He's starting to go over just a little bit. Dean in behind of Beefy there. He's trying to keep his gap under a second as well as he continues on through. I see we got Scotty down in 16th, running under a second behind Bray Train there for 15th. So a bit of a battle going on all over the track at the moment. But of course, it's going to be very, very difficult for these guys to get this overtake done, especially under the conditions we're having on this track here right now. And we got Mr. Rage. He was just under a second behind Clarky there, trying to keep up. And DT Bevs is out of this race right now. Let's have a look, see if we can have a look what happened to him. Not sure if we'll be able to see his car on track here right now. Actually, I don't think I'll be able to see his car. I don't know if he retired in the pits or what happened to him there, but let's get on back out in front. He probably retired in the pits, I'm not sure, but either way, so let's go ahead and back out in front. So Walker and Clark is still in the battle for the lead of the race, and now Mr. Rage is in that as well, as he's gotten his gap to under a second behind these guys here. Let's see how this is progressing on through. So far so good in this race. On lap 7 for the Monaco Grand Prix with PGL F1s on the league. Oh, and we got Clarky braking very, very strongly and very late, a bit late there too as well, just trying to keep his car from going into the back of Walker's car and avoiding any potential damage there. And Mr. Rage desperately trying to keep his gap under a second as much as he can, trying to keep that a bit of advantage that he can with the overtake alive, with the DRS, sorry. And a bit of a gap starting to form between most of our drivers there right now. But at the front here, we have this battle that's going to continue going on. So we're going to keep following with them for just a bit. These three are chasing each other around. We got Ethan coming there in P4. He's about 2.4 seconds behind, but we can still see him in the background coming up on them there. And he's trying to catch up with these three, fighting it out front for the lead of the race. I think the fight is mostly between Walker and Clarky here, but Mr. Rage is trying to keep the fight alive, at least to get up into P2, be ahead of Clarky if he can. But overtaking is so difficult on this track that's going to be a tough call for him to get done here. That's why qualifying we're talking about is so important, getting through qualifying and getting a good starting position in the race, just in case you're not good at overtaking on a track such as Monaco here. And of course, next week we do have Azerbaijan, so gonna be an interesting one there as well with PGL. So we'll see how that works out. We see Mr. Rage is getting quite close to Clarky's car here right now, so he's desperately trying to catch up. But he's caught up. Oh, and we got Clarky into the pits right now. Bit of a change. Let's see how that strategy is going to work out. That's going to put Mr. Rage up into second place behind Walker, and Ethan goes up into third right now. 1.3 seconds is the gap to Rage out front, and he's catching up there now. So let's see how much of an advantage that's going to give Mr. Rage trying to catch up to Walker now. Walker has a bit of a breathing room behind him. Gap is just about a second, and actually going under a second right now as Mr. Rage is catching up to that Red Bull as fast as he can there right now. We got Clarky back out on track, and he's out into 8th position right now in front of Racer Avocado, who's in 9th. And let's switch this on over to Mr. Rage back out front here. We got Vintage actually about half a second gap he has to Racer Avocado there in 10th. As Clarky is already ahead of Racer, he's gone up into 8th position. So let's see what's going to happen if Vintage is going to be able to get by here. His gap is actually pretty close. We're trying to follow on with Walker and Mr. Rage out front as well. Ethan there, 1.6 seconds behind. He's trying to break his gap down as much as he can. And Black Cherry there has retired from the session. I think he's retired in the pits. So that's going to be it for him for this session. Quite a difficult track for a lot of drivers. So now we got 14 drivers left in the session. Let's continue on through with that and see how the rest of it unfolds here. Oh, and we got a car into, that's Racer Avocado into the barriers there. And I'm quite sure he's lost a lot of front wing. He's still going though. So he's going to have to get into the pits and repair that car to get back racing here right now. Might have missed his braking zone that caused that to happen. But let's go back out front with Mikey right now chasing down Bandy there for P4. And he's trying to push for a gap there, but finding a gap on this track is actually very difficult in terms of getting by a car. As we said, it's very, very difficult to overtake here on Monaco, but not impossible. These guys can get overtakes done, but they have to be very careful about it to avoid damage to their car and to avoid getting penalties as well. So overtaking here at Monaco does take quite a bit of practice. So hopefully these guys have had enough practice, and let's see how that's going to work out, because they're not going to want to hold on to just one position in the race. And we got Very Train is out of the race, and I think he probably crashed out somewhere. I'm not sure, because we do have, I think it's a virtual safety car for that incident. Let's have a look right now. Yep, it is. Oh, and there is his car. He got spun around at the exit of that turn there. So that's a bit of a difficult section of the track as well. So that's going to be a virtual safety car until they can roll that car out of the way. And I think just maybe just some minor debris have to clear up. We got a few drivers into the pits there right now. Ethan now leads the Monaco Grand Prix with Mikey there running in second. BP is all the way up into third place right now. Clarky now running in fourth with a penalty. We got Mr. Rage, Walker, Maddie, and Dean all into the pits right now under the VSC. They're trying to take advantage and trying to save some time. Vintage already out, and he's trying to get up some position between these guys. Let's see what's happening up there right now. So Mr. Rage back out into P5. Walker is back out in P6. Vintage takes over 7. Maddie is in 8. Dean is out into 9th. Well, it looks like he might be out into 9th. He's still in the picture. He's getting back out into 9th position there right now. So a bit of a change in terms of our grid order right now. So let's see what's happening. Out front, we got Ethan, who continues to lead the Monaco Grand Prix here right now. And he's going to continue on leading for just a bit more. But he might have to do a pit stop pretty soon, because he's done 10 laps on those soft tires already. So let's see how much more he plans to push on them. We got Mikey running in second right now. He's about 4 seconds behind the race leader at the moment. And Walker has retired from the session. So what's happened to his car? I think his car is stuck somewhere on track. I think I can see where it is. Let's have a look here right now. As Dean is coming around, we might be able to see what happened to Walker's car there. And he's into the barriers there. That's definitely going to be a lot of damage to that car. And the suspension is broken off. So he's out of the race here right now. Unfortunate, and he was our race leader before. So we have a few pit stops happening here at the moment as well. now, guys, getting back to this here right now, let's have a look at what's going on with Clark there, because he's chasing down Beefy for P3 right now. And let's see if he's going to be able to get by the Red Bull. Remember, Beefy's teammate is now out. That's Walker there, out. And he was trying to go on the inside, but looks like Beefy was trying to cover back the inside there, so he was not able to get that position up. But yeah, he's continuing on through. We got Ethan into the pits right now. He's changing on to the mediums. Probably going to go to the end. We'll see how that works out. Oh, and Clarky looking for a gap to work with, but Beefy just covering that gap. And he's going to try to take the inside. Let's see if that works out or not. Oh, and some minor contact. And let's see if... Did he take any damage? Nope. That McLaren didn't take any damage on that. He's going to continue on through, chasing down Beefy, which is now going to be for second place, as Mikey now leads at the Monaco Grand Prix. Beefy running in second. Clarky running there in P3 right now. Ethan is out of the pits. He's in P4. Maddie running P5, Mr. Rage running in 6th, and Dean running 7th. We got Vintage in 8th right now, Jay Kelly there in 9th. Scotty runs 10th, and Codfish runs 11th right now. Walker, Racer, Avocado, Braid Train, Black Cherry, DT Bears, and Scooby out of this session. That's about 6 drivers out. Unfortunate for them. And we got Clarky all over the rear of Beefy's Red Bull here right now. So he's looking definitely to get by, but just needs to get a good gap and get by. But Beefy is actually a little bit better at blocking cars off to keep them behind. We're just covering his gap. I think he was trying to go on the outside and then try to take it on the inside, but still not getting a good go at that gap as yet to get by Beefy for second place here on this race. And he pulls back right back to his racing line. Doesn't want to over push it on through, and he's really trying to push it on through here right now. Let's see if he gets a better exit or not. They're still going side by side right now, the Red Bull and the McLaren through. And looks like Clark is really fighting it to get this position up, but Beefy is not letting it go right now. He's holding on to second place for his life here at the moment. Let's get on board with Clark. Let's see if he's going to late break Beefy into that corner. No, he doesn't take the chance, as he knows there's going to be some sort of counter move coming off that Red Bull. Oh, and some major braking, and someone lost a part of their front wing. I think that was from Beefy's car there. Definitely so he took some damage off of that, coming under pressure from Clarky down behind. So definitely going to be feeling that in terms of performance on that car now. So this might open up a new gap for Clarky to be able to get by. But he's going to have to watch how much braking is going to come off of that Red Bull down in front, because he's going to have to brake a little bit earlier with that damage on the car. And they're going side by side through Sector 1 here right now. And let's see if Clark is able to get this by overtake done or not. He's already forced Beefy into a mistake and going into the barriers a bit. And it looks like he's getting the position up right now, up into second place. Clarky goes, finally gets the overtake done and puts Beefy down into third. Ethan there coming about 5.7 seconds behind. He has a bit of a gap to catch up with before he's able to get into the battle for podium position here. And let's see if that broken wing is going to affect Beefy's car in any way or not, as he's running 13 laps on those mediums already. He's done an early pit stop on the first I think safety car that we had, or was it VSC that we had at the start of the race. I think he did a pit stop around then. And Clarky does have quite a bit of a gap to catch up to the race leader there right now, though. That's Mikey leading the race at the moment. He's about 7.9 seconds ahead. Clarky running in second. We got Ethan now up into third because Beefy took a pit stop to change off his damaged wing. Let's have a look at what his pit stop is going like here right now. So he's on to mediums to go to the end of the race there right now. A new set of mediums. And he looks like he's going to come out somewhere around in 7th. Yeah, he's going to be out in 7th place right now. Let's get back out in front here. Mr. Rage here, chasing down Maddie there for P4. Let's see how that battle is going between these two here right now, because gap is getting close to about half a second. Of course, we got Dean trying to get his gap under a second right now, and he's actually pretty close by behind. So he's just gotten that gap under a second, so it's a bit of a battle going on between these three here right now, between Maddie, Mr. Rage, and Dean. And I think they're each fighting for at least one position up at the moment, except for Matt. There is a bit of a gap to catch up to Ethan there in P3 at the moment. And we're on lap 17 right now on this race and going through, so just about the halfway point of the race as we continue to race on here. Mr. Rage is getting very, very close to Maddie here, as well as Dean there getting very close to Mr. Rage as well. But of course, getting these overtakes done is not going to be that simple between the three of them, so let's see how that's going to work out. So both Mr. Rage and Dean are looking to get a position up here right now. Dean might be looking to get 2 positions up if possible at all. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to do that at this point or not, but I think he might at least try to get that 1 position up, but let's see how that works out for him. And both of them still trying to keep their gap under a second, so it's going pretty well for them. Out front, we still got Clarky's about 6 seconds behind Mikey. So still has a bit of a gap to catch up to Mikey there. Of course, Mikey's going to have to do another pit stop at some point coming up in the race because he's on 15 laps on those mediums already. Okay, so Mike still leads. Gap is about 12 seconds now that another pit stop has happened. So Ethan now running in second here. He's about 12.8 seconds ahead. Behind Mikey there, and he's trying to catch up. So it looks like he might be able to take over the lead of the Monaco Grand Prix once Mikey does a pit stop here, but he's going to have to wait until that point comes, which should be sometime pretty soon, because we're waiting to see how far he's going to push on those mediums out front. 17 laps done on them already. Scotty's done just about the same amount of laps on his mediums here as well, down there in 10th. We'll see how the strategy works out here for them, because it's doing pretty well so far for Mikey's end. He's held on to the race lead for just a little bit here right now, but I think Ethan is looking to get onto the race lead here right now as fast as he can. He has Maddie about 6.6 seconds behind him. We got Mr. Ray chasing Maddie for that position still, and let's see how that's going to work out for him, because it's still going to be a very difficult overtake for him to get done. Dean, of course, trying to get by Mr. Ray here right now, as he was a little side by side with him for just about a second or two, and still have to held back in P5 there. So still not a bad position to finish here at Monaco. We're on lap 19 right now, 39, sorry. So still quite a way more to go. That's about 20 laps more to go in this race. So let's call that at least a halfway into the race there right now, as we still got quite a close gap between Mr. H and Maddie, and between Mr. H and Dean. So Mr. H gets in the middle of all of this right now, and he needs to be very careful of the car behind as he continue on through here at the moment. So they're getting into a bit of traffic here as well. As you can see, Scotty in the middle of all of this happening here, and he's running down there in 11th at the moment. We're still trying to follow on through as much as we can here between these three cars to see how that battle is progressing on through right now. So far so good. I think Mr. Rage is trying to keep his gap under a quarter of a second if he can. Dean is losing and gaining up just a bit of time as he continues to go on through, so just keeping it as even as possible. I don't know how well or how bad this battle between these three cars are going to end. And that's Codfish retiring from the session there. He's out. And I'm not sure if that happened on track or in the pits there at the moment. There is a yellow flag somewhere down in between sector 1 and 2. Now currently we have 10 drivers left in here for the Monaco Grand Prix to continue on to the end. So let's see if these 10 can actually finish the race with about 19 laps left to go. We just finished our lap 20 there. We're into lap 20 right now and going, so just about another 20 laps to go. I think these three might have to just chase each other around the track for just a bit more, because it doesn't look like either of them are gonna be able to get that overtake done anytime soon. This might just depend on race pace for them, because it's gonna be very hard in terms of any of them doing another pit stop unless one of these cars takes some damage. I think that's what's gonna cause that to happen. But it looks like Mr. Rage has an end plate missing from his car, from what I just saw. I'm not sure, 100% sure on that. I'll have to have another look. Actually, let's see if we can have a look from Maddie's car, looking behind here right now. So from what I can see, it seems like he's missing a right side end plate there. Yeah, he's missing an end plate on that car. And we got a, what's that? We have a VSC right now. That's a full-on safety car. Beefy is out of the race. Let's see if we can see what happened to his car there. I don't think we can see that car on track. So that's going to be it for that. So Beefy's out of this race. Both Red Bulls are now out of the race there. And let's see where our race leader is at. So Mikey is currently our race leader. He's into the pits right now. And that's going to put Ethan up into the lead if he doesn't pit at this point. Let's see how that's going to go. So Ethan pits as well. And it's probably going to go on to the soft tires to go to the end of the race here right now. So quite a few pit stops are going to happen on this account here. He's changing up his front wing as well. Did have some damage on that car. Okay, so sorry about that. So still running under the safety car on lap 22 here right now, guys. I think that happened just about a lap ago, that incident with Beefy there. So we're going to continue on under the safety car for about a lap or two more before we do get back racing here. So still going to have quite a number of laps to continue through with the racing. Still maybe about 15 laps more racing after that safety car goes in. We'll see how that works out to be on this here. But we now only have 9 drivers left in this session for the Monaco Grand Prix. We started off with 20 in qualifying. We got 17 into the race because of a glitchy lobby, and now we're down to just 9 drivers to finish this race here. Good side on that is that everyone's going to be getting points, so all they need to do at this point is just make it across the finish line on lap 39. So we'll see how well that's going to work out for most of our drivers here, as top few drivers are already right behind each other running on the safety car. So that's going to be a bit of a train fight with them to get a few positions up as they get back started on the race. So currently as it is, we got Mikey leading this race under the safety car. We got Dean now running in second. He's done 12 laps on those mediums he's currently running on there right now. We got Clarky there in P3 now. And then we got Ethan there in P4. We got Maddie P5. We got Mr. Rage in 6. Vintage in 7. J. Kelly in 8. And Scotty there, who's currently in 9th. Now Scotty and J. Kelly, they're onto the hard tires. They're going to go to the end of the race on that. Vintage there on 11 laps on his medium so far. So what do you guys think? Is he going to be able to make it to the end of the race on those tires? I'm not 100% sure about it. But also we got Dean there at 12 laps on those mediums as well. And they're going to have to run quite a number of laps more if they really want to be pushing it to the end of the race, or let's see if they're going to be doing another pit stop or not. because of course Dean did not pit under the safety car there, neither did Vintage as well. So let's see how the strategy is going to work for them. Clarky didn't pit as well because he pitted a few laps ago, went on to fresh mediums, and he does have a penalty, so that's going to keep him into third at least for now. So we got to wait and see what's going to happen with Dean there in P2 as he's 12 laps on those tires already. And I'm not sure if we're going to have the safety car going on this lap here or not. We're going to have a look at that as we're going into sector 3 here right now. So we should be able to see a graphic to know if safety car is going to go in. But it doesn't look like it's going in on this lap. Looks like we're going to go one more lap under the safety car, and that's going to be the end of lap 24 is when the safety car is going to go in. We'll be back racing on lap 25. That gives us about 14 to 15 laps of racing to look forward to. As we said before, yeah, we have 15 laps of racing to go on to the end of the race into lap 39, and that's going to go off pretty quickly. So let's see how these guys get on through the rest of the session here right now, because at the end of this lap should be a restart after that safety car there. So he'll be getting on in, and we're going to wait for a graphic though from race control before we confirm that there. Okay, so let's have a look. We're about to get into sector 3 here right now, so let's see if the safety car is about to get back into the pits here or not, as I do expect we should be having it go away hopefully in this. Yeah, definitely is going away on this lap already, so we should have the safety car going back into the pits right now. And I see Mikey is holding back the pack just a bit, and we're about to get back started with this race into lap 25. We're gonna go for another 15 laps, and yeah, then we're going to come to the end of the race. So we'll see how that affects the race positions here. And we got just 2 drivers currently with penalties, so we'll see how that works out. So let's see how good of a run Dean is going to get chasing after Mikey there into the first corner. And everyone seems to get by pretty well so far going through. Let's get back out in front to the battle between Mikey and Dean and Clarky here for the race lead as it is. And a bit of a train of cars going all the way through right now. I see Ethan is actually getting pretty close to Clarky there for P3. Of course, that overtake is not going to be an easy one to make, so he's going to have to still try and keep as close as he can. Hopeful that the car in front of him does make some sort of mistake. That's going to help him to get by up a position if he can. We'll see how that works out. Oh, and we got someone trying to get a position. That was Clarky getting a position up on Dean there. Took it side by side with him and actually quite comfortably got the position up without any contact at all. But does take a penalty there right now. But does get up into second place, so not too bad at all. He's going to need to get a gap going on Dean here if he wants to keep that place at the end of the race here right now. Of course, Dean on 15 laps on those tires, I think he was going to have to pit at some point. Maybe, I'm not sure. We'll see if he's going to be able to push those tires to the end of the race or not. Got Mr. Rage down there in 6th right now. He's trying to keep up with Maddie there in P5. And is going to try and get that position up if he can. Let's see how that works out for him. So far so good with Mr. Rage. He's keeping his gap very close actually to Maddie there. Out front we still got a gap of under a second now between Clarky and Mikey there. So Clarky definitely looking to get up into the lead of this race, but we're keeping an eye on Mr. Rage here, right, to see what's happening with this. And Ethan there getting very close onto Dean as well. So can either of them get this overtake done? Let's have a look at what's happening here. So a great run he's getting on Dean, and Dean is blocking up that inside which he wants to use to get up into P3, but he's not getting to. So Ethan unfortunately has to hold back into P4 as Dean is doing a pretty good job trying to hold on to his position there in P3. I think he's trying to block Ethan off on every corner that they go through here, just to make sure that he doesn't get a good gap to get by. Let's get back on the overhead cam here right now to have a look as they exit the tunnel section on lap 27 and running here right now. Gap is still very close, and out front we have even a closer gap between Clarky and Mikey here. Is Clarky gonna go for a move or not? Let's have a look as these two are very close together. So Clarky is actually blasting through the field. The only thing affecting him right now is gonna be that penalty that he currently has. And he has the DRS advantage as well here right now. So let's see if that's going to help him to get by right now as well. Let's put on telemetry as well so we can see what's happening. He's using overtake a little bit as well to try and keep that position. And we got Mikey with quite a bit of ERS to use as well. So has that advantage to use to him to try and keep his position if he can as they continue on through this race here. Mr. Rage, they're getting close to Maddie still once again. This is not going anywhere right now as it seems, because it's very hard to get these overtakes done on this track as it is there right now. Also, still we have Ethan chasing down Dean for that position there for P3. And we got Ethan now with a penalty as well. So 3 drivers with penalties in this race so far. We got Clarky there in P2. And Ethan there P4. And we got Mr. Rage in P6. Those 3 cars have a penalty so far. So 6 other drivers running without penalties. For Monaco, not too bad at all. So we're going to keep following on with Mr. Rage here and see how much he's going to be able to keep up with Maddie, because that gap is going to be staying a bit constant there, I guess, unless he can actually find some sort of gap to get by. We got Ethan trying to go around the outside right now of the Renault, and unfortunately did not make that move stick, so he's going to have to hold it back in P4 and so let's find some other way of trying this again. We got just about 10 laps left to do this now, as we're on lap 29 and going through. So a bit of a battle between Dean and Ethan there, and also we got Maddie and Mr. Ray just still fighting it out as well as Mikey and Clarky. So our top 6 cars involved in a bit of a two-way battle with each other as we go on P1, P2, P3, P4, and P5 and P6 as they are right now. Keep going through. Vintage here about 2.3 seconds behind Mr. H, and then another 29 seconds behind we have Jay Kelly. Scotty there running just over a lap, I think. And he's running there in 9th. I think he's just trying to finish the race to get some points in for Renault here right now. Oh, and his teammate Dean out in front just lost the rear end of the car just a little bit. Let's see if that leaves it open for Ethan to try and get by here right now. But gap still, it's very close, but still not, he's not able to get by here at the moment. And he just went a little bit hard into that barrier there, and I think he lost that end plate. Yep, he did. So I'm not sure how that's going to affect his battle with Dean here for P3 right now, because he's lost an end plate to his car with about 9.5 laps left in this race. 9.5 laps. So let's see if he's able to pull through that with the damage, or if he's going to have to do a pit stop or not. I'm not sure, but he's going to lose quite a few positions if he does decide to do that pit stop there. Looks like he lost both end plates from the car. I'm not sure. From what I can see, he seemed to have lost both end plates there at the moment. Seems as though Dean is having some problem getting that rear end of the car under control. And what's happening on the back? Mr. Ray seems to have gotten by Matty there. I think he made a bit of a mistake, and that's opened the room up for Mr. Ray to get up into P5 on lap 31. That's happened there. So that's Mr. Ray job of position. Matty down to 6. It's been a while since we've seen an overtake happen on this race here, and that was a pretty clean overtake. I think our last overtake was Clarky there on Dean as he got up into 2nd place. Right now Dean is trying to hold off Ethan there in P4, who now has some damage. And we got Mr. Rage right up to the rear of Ethan's car now, so that's going to be quite interesting because these two are teammates, Ethan and Mr. Rage there. They're both driving the Alfa Romeo. They might actually pull off a switch, and let's see what team orders are going to be doing here, because they might be thinking about pulling off a switch and allowing Mr. Rage to go after Dean there for P3, because Ethan is missing both end plates on his car right now. And that's going to be a bit of a nightmare to continue driving on into this race with, but he seems to be doing pretty well so far. Surprisingly, he's not having too much trouble keeping up with Dean as well. But let's see if they're going to do a switch at Alfa Romeo there between the drivers or not. I'm not sure. And it looks like they have done a switch, and it did look quite like a voluntary switch. So Alfa Romeo drivers have done a bit of a switch and put on Mr. Rage for now, chasing after Dean there for P3. And looks like Clarky was getting pretty close to Mikey out front, but not able to get the overtake move to stay, so he has to hold back there in 2nd. And let's see what's going to happen between Mr. Rage and Dean here right now, because that battle is going to continue on through. So he's just finished dealing with one Alfa Romeo and now going to deal with another one. Not his day today, I would say, but let's see how he finishes off with this day right now. I see Vintage is now trying to get close to Maddie there. I don't know if Maddie has any damage to his car or not, but Dean is under some serious pressure right now of losing that position to Mr. Rage, and so is Mikey to losing the lead of the race out front. Let's see what's happening with these two as they're going side by side into turn 1 here, and that's Clarky up into the lead of the race. He hits the wall just a little bit, might have lost an end plate. Yes, he did, and he's going to have to push on through for another 6 to 7 laps on that. Oh, and Mikey gets back the lead, doesn't have any damage to his car, I think. And Clarky did put up a pretty good fight to try and get that position up. That was a really good overtake. Unfortunate for him that he hit the wall just a little bit and lost an end plate there. So he's now going to be down into 2nd. Dean is about 11 seconds behind him, and Mr. Rage is trying to get by Dean there right now. So let's see how that's going to continue on. Are you kidding me right now? Alright, so yes, let's continue on through here, guys. So Mr. Rage will continue on through to chase down Dean there. Mr. Rage driving pretty well though, trying to keep that position up and trying to keep that gap as close as he has it right now. So gaps are still under a second between these few guys that we have here in a bit of the midfield, what we will call it here right now. I'm trying to keep an eye out front of what's happening. So Clarky is into the pits right now. He's repairing his damaged ring, so he doesn't want to drive with that damaged wing on track. He's going to repair that, and let's see where he comes back out on track. As Mr. Ray desperately looking to get by Dean here right now. So Mikey is still leading this race. Dean is now up into 2nd place, and Mr. Rage now running 3rd. Ethan running 4th now. Vintage now in 5th. Clarky back out on track, and he's in 6th right now. Matty there running in 7th. We got J. Kelly in 8th, and Scott is still running there in 9th. He's a lap down, so he's still running a bit of his own race. He's trying to keep it clean to go to the end of the race right now. Oh, and we got a bit of contact between Dean and Mr. Rage right now. Mr. Rage trying to cut it a bit on the inside. Did not really work out for him. Unfortunately, he didn't take any damage. So he's going to continue on through chasing after that Renault here right now. This is a battle for 2nd place, guys. So Of course, we know Mr. Rich has a penalty. He's going to be losing back the position either way, depending on if he can get a gap going or not. But he's still trying to get across the line in second place if he can here right now. So just about 4 laps more to go in this race. 4 to 4.5 laps more. And Mikey looks quite comfortable to finish on the podium there. Dean trying to finish in second place here right now, and he doesn't want to allow Mr. Ray to go by. Ethan has gotten back up to his teammate. He's about half a second behind. Has a damaged front wing, and he's still driving quite excellently with that car. Honest with you, I don't feel like I can drive a car without both end plates off of it. It's quite difficult, especially at Monaco. I find it difficult to even drive a car with a full front wing on, so I'm not sure how he's doing it without both end plates off for the car there right now. He's actually keeping up with his teammate right now, and Clarkey is now about 1.6 seconds behind Ethan, so he's going to be looking to get up a position if he can before the race finish here. He was up running there in P2, tried to get a good overtake down on Mike. He did get the overtake down, but then hit the wall a little bit, lost his front wing, part of his front wing, and had to do a pit stop there. Oh, and Clarkey is out of the race, and I think he retired into the pits there, so not out on track, which is allowed. That is fine. Oh, and this is pretty close between these two. Let's see what's going to happen here. I can see Mr. Rage is looking for a gap to get that overtake done on, and he's just not getting it right now. Oh, it looks like he dived a bit on the inside. Let's see if he's going to get this done. But Dean is and pushing back, and that's going to be both of them having some issues there right now. So Dean got bit spun around. He's gotten going again. Mr. Rage got going again. But this puts Ethan now into second place in this race. And he has a gap of 1.2 seconds to work with there. So let's have a look at penalties as they are. Just a 3-second penalty. He just needs a 3-second gap away from Dean here to keep this going. And let's see, did Dean take some damage? And he did take some damage here. Just one end plate off though. So is that going to be enough performance issues for Dean here for Ethan to be able to get a 3-second gap and keep second place when he gets across the finish line here? We'll see how that works out. Unfortunately for Clarkey, he is out. We still have 8 drivers remaining in this here right now. So as Mikey is, he still has quite a comfortable gap out front and running. He has a 12.9 second gap, and I highly doubt that Ethan is going to be able to catch up to him unless he makes some sort of mistake or crashes out of this race. But still, he has Ethan running in second. Dean running 1.5 seconds behind Ethan right now. Ethan needs to get a gap up to 3 seconds and above. And he seems to be improving just a little bit, but just about 2.5 laps left to go in this race, so not a lot of time for him to work on that. 1.8 second that gap is right now. It's starting to go up a little bit more. Let's see if he can continue on with that. And Mr. Rage is down into 6th position right now. So Vintage is up to 4, Maddie is up to 5th, Mr. Rage down to 6th, Jay Kelly in 7th, and Scotty needs to catch up with his extra 2 laps that he's running behind, and he just did. So he's up into 8th position now. So again, majority of our drivers not finishing this race, unfortunately. And we're following on with Dean right now as he's trying to catch up with Ethan there, and but the gap is now over 3 seconds, so that means Ethan is going to be able to keep the race podium second position if he finishes in second. That is, still has to get around for a lap and a half more to finish this race, so we'll still average about 2 laps more here, and then we're going to come to the end of the Monaco Grand Prix for round 6 of 23 here for PGL F1 Sunday League. I see Vintage has actually caught up right now, and he doesn't have any damage on his car, so he's caught up to Dean there in P3, and Dean is losing more and more time to Ethan there, so Ethan is going to be able to keep second place in the race. Dean there is going to have to take third, and looks like Vintage will be taking fourth if he's able to keep that position going on through. Maddie will take 5th, And looks like Mr. Rage is going to take 6th there with J. Kelly in 7th and Scotty there in 8th. And the rest of the grid that did not finish, well, that's going to be their finishing positions there. Of course, I don't think you get any points if you don't finish the race. Not sure how that works with the league. We'll have to look into that in just a bit. But yeah, either way, we're having 8 drivers finishing this race as it seems so far. Hopefully these 8 are able to go all the way to the end here right now as we're on lap 39. Final lap of the race, sorry. And yeah, Mikey's going to lead that going around. 9.7 seconds is the gap between Ethan and Mikey there. So he's catching up actually, but only a last lap. So he doesn't have the time. And he's doing this on broken front wings right now. Both sides of the front wing have damage. Both end plates are missing, and he's still catching up to the car in front and gaining time on the car behind, where we know the car behind has some damage. Does Mikey have any damage to his car? No, he does not. But he's still losing some time right now. But I think he's just trying to be as careful as he can there at the moment. Now we got a battle between Dean, Vintage, and Maddie here for, I guess, for P3. I want to see how that works through for them. Looks like they might end up finishing in. Oh, and the AlphaTauri spins around, loses his position, and he's going to get back going there right now. And that is Vintage losing position there. So let's go on to race leader Mikey. Goes across the line, takes a podium position. Well, pole position actually, sorry, for the Monaco Grand Prix. And we got Ethan coming around right now. Takes 2nd place, and we got Dean coming here. He's going to be taking 3rd place in this race, and Maddie takes 4th. We got Vintage coming now, and he's going to take 5th. We got Mr. H coming around. He takes 6th position. And where is J. Kelly right now? We got him coming around. He is going to be taking 7th position in the race here. He is finishing off with final sector there. Yep, Ethan, you are quite lucky with that one. You have 2nd place in that race there. Quite a number of drivers out on the Monaco Grand Prix. There was still a great finish for those of the drivers who were able to finish this race. And driver of the day goes to Jay Kelly there. Let's have one last look at our results and see who got the fastest lap in the race there, and what our finishing grid looks like. We did have a look at that just to make sure and confirm everything is as it is there right now. But excellent race though. Let's have a look at our final results as it is right now. Alright, so there we have it. Looks like Mikey takes pole position. Ethan takes 2nd place in this race. Dean takes 3rd. Maddie takes 4th. Vintage takes 5th. Mr. Ray takes 6th. We got J. Kelly finishing 7th. Scotty finishes in 8th. And Clarky got the fastest lap in the race, even though he was unable to finish the race there. Beefy gets 10th position, Codfish will get 11, Walker 12, Racer Avocado 13, Ray Train 14, Black Cherry in 15, DTBF 16, Scooby there in 17. Unfortunately for quite a number of drivers were not able to finish the race there, guys. I'm not sure how Ethan was driving that car with both end plates off and just keeping perfect control and actually catching up to Mikey there, but still a really good job for the drivers there for finishing the race. Great job, Clarky. You actually got fastest lap in the race, and yeah, you didn't finish, but yeah, still that was a pretty good race. So either way, guys, thank you guys for joining on to the session. Please don't forget to leave a like on the video there, guys, and we do have another esports race coming up tomorrow, not more this evening. We're done for the evening. That's it, we're done here right now. No more racing for the evening. The next race is tomorrow at 8 p.m. BST. It's gonna be like 3 p.m. Eastern time for me. So we'll see you guys on that live stream then. Don't forget to join us then. So remember, guys, if you're new around here, make sure to subscribe to the channel, and once again, don't forget to leave a like on the video. I appreciate you guys joining on to watch the stream.